Okay.
Well, good morning. It's 7:44 at KNEB, 64 degrees toward another very warm afternoon. Our update on News Extra brought to you by First State Bank. Here's Kevin Mooney.
And thank you, Dennis. Good morning, everyone. And yes, it is that time of year. The Light of Hope Breakfast is coming up very soon. September 6th, as a matter of fact, at the Gehring Civic Center. And we have Kathy Welfel here from CASA, Debbie Fitz from Capstone, two agencies that will benefit from the breakfast. And I'm not supposed to trip you up or anything. Do we have any idea how many? It hasn't been that long. How many years have we been doing this? 3 or 4?
This is the 4th annual.
4th year? Yep. And Debbie was telling me earlier, now they have the two of you kind of organizing it. It used to be kind of a volunteer effort, some people that were, really Katie Camacho was the one that started this, right?
Right. Katie brought it over from Colorado Springs, and the two boards set up committees, or a committee, a big committee, and that's how they generally organize the event. And this year, Debbie and I just decided that maybe we try to take the helm, and but the boards are still helping very much, and we feel like it's going to be a really good event this year.
All right. Explain for the folks that don't know how this works on September 6th, because this works a little bit different. You don't really buy tickets for this event.
So it's a free breakfast. Anybody can attend. We do need RSVPs, so if anybody out there has not already committed to coming to the event, you would like to come to Light of Hope Breakfast on September 6th, you can call either CASA or Capstone, and we'll give you those numbers here in a few minutes. And RSVP, you can bring guests if you would like your business or maybe a civic group to attend. We just need to know in advance so we can get a head count.
All right. And the whole idea here is about awareness of the two organizations, right?
Yes. It's obviously a fundraiser, but we are trying to educate people about what CASA and Capstone do in the community. We're both child advocacy agencies, but we do very different things. And I'll probably let Debbie talk about Capstone first, because her agency comes into the picture before CASA. So.
Yep. And Debbie, you must love your new location, 900 P Street in Gehring, right?
I do love it. If you haven't seen it drive by, we've got some great grass. We've got plants, flowers. It just looks awesome. And thanks to the community for supporting us, for helping us do that, for donating. We've got a great community.
Yeah, it really is a nice place. And people need to maybe go take a look at it. It won't take that long, a few minutes.
Yeah, call if you want a tour. We'll take you around and show you what we're doing. If we're not doing an interview, be happy to show you around.
All right. So tell folks exactly what you do, because you, like Kathy says, you kind of get into this picture when something occurs with a child a little bit earlier than Kathy does.
Right. We're at the beginning. We're a referral. Do everything by referral. When a call goes into the hotline, and then it goes back to Health and Human Services or law enforcement, they'll call us and want to schedule an interview. And then we bring the child in, and it's a child-friendly place, a big mural, clubhouse as you come in the door. We want the kids to know it's a safe place. It's a place that's about them.
Yeah, and that's the whole idea. But then you conduct the interview, and hopefully they open up a little bit about what happened, whether it was of usually a sexual nature or abusive nature, whatever it was, right?
Well, 67% of our interviews are for suspected, that's a hard word to say, suspected sexual abuse. And once they do disclose, then we work with the families. If they don't have insurance, then we do pay for their counseling. We like to see them get some counseling right away.
Yeah, and the officers come in there and do the interviews and so forth. And I know they appreciate the fact that they have a place where the kids feel a little more, it's not an antiseptic place, it's just a warm, friendly place where maybe the kids will open up a little bit.
Yes, the little kids' room, we have colorful chairs, tables and chairs that are short-legged. We have trained forensic interviews. They go to specialized training before they can interview. And then we do peer reviews and training during the year. So it's all about letting the child open up and not leading them with any information.
Yeah. Okay, we'll take a break and we'll talk to Kathy about what her organization does and tell you how you can donate to these agencies on September 6th, right after this. Okay.
Customer appreciation picnic at First State.
Doing fine.
The picnic will be held in the front parking
is
lot
up.
of Scottsbluff Branch from 11:30
Not very long ago.
to 1 p.m. on
I decided
September
the last
12,
3 months of my life I'm going to be like Joe Firefighter.
Yeah.
So I make all of the calls. I don't care what time of the day.
We will be accepting
And
free
then when
will
you wake up, you're
donations
just
and
like,
selling duck permits
you're
for the
just
United
not-
Way. Please
Not
donate
with it.
hamburgers,
But you go
hot
running out of the
dogs,
house
chips,
anyway.
cookies, Pepsi, and
I didn't have my
Thank you for
alarm set
banking with us
properly
and
today. It's
helping
because I
support
just
the
woke
United
up
Way.
at the time I was
First
supposed to
State
wake up.
Member
Otherwise,
FDIC.
You probably get up early.
all right, we are back on News Extra. We're talking about the Light of Hope breakfast at the Gearing Civic Center, September 6th, and it starts at 7 a.m. that morning. And we have Debbie Fitz here with Capstone. She just explained what her agency does, and now we're going to talk about CASA because these two agencies are why we're holding this breakfast on September 6th. So Debbie talked about the interviews with the kids that have been a victim of suspected abuse, and now you kind of take the ball when they get into court, right?
Right. We are court-appointed special advocates, so all of our cases are in the juvenile court system. And so what generally happens is at some point in time, within a month or two, usually after a petition is filed, we have the opportunity to assign a volunteer to a case. And they are appointed by a judge. Our volunteers are appointed by a judge, and they become officers of the court. So what our volunteers are out doing is they're actually part of a team on a case. They will meet the child at least once, sometimes 2 or 3 times a month. They will attend team meetings. They'll go to court. They'll write reports to the judge. They are observing. They're investigating, and they are truly, in addition to everybody else, looking out for the best interests of the child. And so our volunteers have been very instrumental in sometimes helping to get cases to close a little sooner than they might have otherwise. Sometimes we just attend to kids' needs that maybe because everybody else is so busy on a case and they're doing their full-time job, whereas we're volunteers, we have a little more time to kind of focus on the little things. We can make sure children are getting other needs met that maybe wouldn't otherwise. We also have a program called Kids in Need that's funded through Sir Optimist, and we're able to fund, for example, maybe school clothes, a car seat, a crib, other expenses that maybe the foster family is not getting assistance with while the child is out of the home, those kinds of things. So we feel that our volunteers are doing a huge service for these kids, and they often become fairly close to the kids. I mean, you can't help it, and they become not a mentor, but a very important part of the child's life during the case.
Yeah. And you always need more volunteers, right?
We do. We will probably be holding a training around February, and we'd like to have a fairly sizable class. So if there's anybody interested in volunteering for CASA or becoming an advocate, you can call us at 672-2922. And Debbie's information to call her as far as either volunteering or to RSVP for Light of Hope is 632-7274. That's right.
Yep. Okay. All right. We'll hand the mic over to Debbie real quick. You're going to have a special speaker and kind of explain. People just simply bring their checks and donate what they can when they're at this breakfast on September 6th, right?
Yes, we've got a great program lined up. We've got kids involved. We've got Dr. Peter Meyer who will talk with us during the program. And he was actually there in the beginning of forming Capstone as well. So we think he's going to be a great speaker. And we'll be thanking volunteers and board and staff. And then they'll have an opportunity to give if they'd like to help out Capstone or CASA.
Yeah. You guys raised $16,000
For each agency.
for each agency last year.
Yep.
So that's a lot.
It's very beneficial for us.
Yeah. It's tough this 7 o'clock in the morning
It
stuff,
is.
isn't it?
Tongue-tied yet. No
Yep.
coffee yet.
Yeah. Got her water, no coffee. So at least, but anyway. Think about it on September 6th. If you have not been invited to this point, you can call either one of those numbers and make sure you have a seat. There's a lot of corporate tables, so there will probably be some corporate folks that may be calling you over the next week or two to ask if you want to sit at one of the chairs and listen to the presentations, and then maybe write a check. And once again, the number to call CASA is 672-2922. The one to call Debbie Fitz is 632-7274. And you gals have a very successful breakfast. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, back to you, Dan.
Is that